I feel like that was a great meeting, and I will see you on Wednesday for our next one.
Wait, are you serious? Is
No,
that how we're starting this?
no, that would be a terrible
Okay, okay.
start. I do love
Merry
how
Christmas.
I do love how. Sorry, I do want you to know that I've just entered into a very serious relationship. So
With a plant.
I found somebody I actually love and loves me
It won't. It
back.
won't leave you.
I caught the stem of that joke. On in our last video, which will be released on Thursday, I love how you only sent me the part of the audio that I could use, not the 10 minutes of banter beforehand.
I didn't have the 10 minutes of banter beforehand because I kept messing around with trying to get my audio
Oh,
to work.
I thought you did that as a purposeful thing because you said all those nice compliments about me off air, about how you think I'm the smartest person you've ever met, how I'm tall. Those were the two, actually.
Don't forget tall and beautiful. There's two in one compliments there.
No, you did not say. Don't. All right. Don't. Don't let the plant here. I thought a plant would be good if you're kind of wondering why I got a plant. Just like to be around more people, I think would be good.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure where to go with that
All right,
one.
all right, all right. That's probably what I should have expected. That I was in Walmart late last night, going and looking through the plant section and couldn't find a single plant that I could fall in love with, and then all of a sudden I like under a shelf I found one, and it was obviously this guy. So I feel like our
So
careers.
you're wait. So let me get this right. You wanted to be around more people, so you went to Walmart. While at Walmart, around more people, you found a plant that made you feel more whole as a human, and so you don't need to be around more people because you have the plant.
And I think sometimes you don't listen to me, but clearly you do. And I just now let's get serious for a minute. Let's have this meeting. So as you can see, my first point of our agenda is I changed my caffeine routine. So I just
Right.
feel like that's really
Which is
important.
it's very super important.
Well, you need to know. Now, do you know about cortisol?
Is that the stress drug?
Maybe. I don't honestly know, but I know that for the first hour, if you have caffeine, it affects the receptors. So if I
Well, I've
wait,
heard for the first hour, if you do like basically anything, you're so susceptible to influences right after you wake up that you do anything. You look at your phone, social media, have caffeine, LSD, any of this stuff, and all of a sudden, you got that. Okay. All of
did
a
did
sudden, you just
did I
you
get
like
that?
you're influenced for the rest of the day.
That explains a lot about my last coloring book. I did you like go to like comedy class last week? Because you're fucking funny all of a sudden. Like what happened?
It's called lack of sleep. It really does wonders for the brain.
So you're doing different brain stuff, deprivation to
Yep,
get
sleep
this out.
sleep deprivation to get the funnies out.
Well,
Otherwise the funnies get stuck in.
that could be problematic. Well, I guess we could just delete that off the list since I shared about my day and my caffeine stuff, and you weren't really that interested. But we'll move on. I keep on reading
Well,
our.
I'm very interested in my caffeine
What is your
because it's in a
caffeine?
Christmas cup. I don't.
Oh. So it's 2 p.m. at your time. That's a good time to drink coffee.
Yes,
Oh, I had a point.
that is a
My
good time.
point was I'm going to be livid because I just had caffeine for the first time like an hour and a half ago.
Livid. I don't think is the right word. I
No,
think you might need a dictionary.
I said a lived experience. All right, moving on. Um, so we thought today would be a good recap for what Music by the Measure is, what we want it to be, what it is right now, and
Right.
and where we're putting our time and energy to give people a great music resource.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was. I mean, the basic idea was we had built up a music resource for ourselves, right? And what do we do with that?
Yeah. All right. Well, you're just making these points really, really easy. And you're right. So
Yeah, well, because if we trace it back to kind of what happened, right? This all goes back to the beginning of the pandemic, as as many things kind of do, where the studio had to shut down.
Yeah.
Right. And you tried to turn it into like a Zoom call format. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
That's what we did for a while. And that worked okay. I mean, it really did. It was fine. I don't, we're doing a FaceTime call right now, but other than that, I don't prefer to do that, right? It's not a great way to teach an instrument.
But did you find it to be more, what's the word, convenient for everybody, like for you and for students, or did it not make much of a difference?
No, the convenience factor was huge by multiple ways. Not only people would arrive on time more likely, right? Because like it's just literally hitting the switch. Most people are hard to be late when they're stuck at their own home. Granted, there wasn't anything else going on, so it was very easy for people to do that. And then it was easy to stack lessons because 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. I'm not waiting that 5 minutes for that person to be late because they drove their own car. Yeah, all of those things.
So what did you think wasn't so good about it as compared to live in-person sessions?
I think the personal touch. The fact that I couldn't reach over literally and say, hey, play it like this. This is how you should move your hands. Or, hey, that chord, this finger needs to go here. There's a lot that, especially somebody who doesn't speak well, there's a language barrier when all I can do is kind of show you. The other thing is I can't play along with you. Like I can't play this strum pattern and you can listen and play at the same time and give you that feedback. Because if it did, it'd be a delay.
Right.
Yeah. Then, and I'm kind of switching gears, but the thing that also made our music different is it was made for an ensemble, right? Very classical term by me. Where I would very often in the beginning of the studio, like go download a quick Guitar Pro tab. Well, this Guitar Pro tab has a great bass guitar part, has decent guitar parts, but it doesn't have the drums. Wait, this one has a drum part, but it doesn't necessarily have this. Or you could download these 3 pieces and nobody wrote drum music back then.
Right. So basically how to get everything together at a high level of quality in one place, like a one-stop shop for the whole song.
The cohesiveness of being able
in an ensemble arrangement.
Yeah, I use that word first, just to let it be known. The cohesiveness, though, if that's the right word, and we'll double check all my words when we're done, of being able to go, hey, measure 55 is that re-intro. Oh, that's what you have to. Okay, like.
Right, because every chart then would sync up on that measure 55 being the same place.
Well, and we even went so far as making the chord sheets have that information, or the lead sheets, as we call them now, have that information of saying, hey, measure 55, when your band falls apart, that's why.
Yeah.
Because they're not reading the reintro. So I think we designed a really good product, and then the idea was, well, now why have any other studio recreate the wheel? Use our product because we've already thought it out. Pay us a membership fee, and if you're a drum teacher, here's awesome drum tabs. If you are in that position,
I can vouch for the figuring it out part. I mean, that's a never-ending hassle to try to, like, where do you draw the line in so many different ways? I mean, like, there's 7 guitar parts in this song because they were in a studio making up parts as they went, and it's like, well, how do you represent that all in a lead guitar or a rhythm guitar or no, there was so many questions that we beat our heads against the wall over repeatedly trying to figure out, well, formatting and all that. Yeah.
And then representing it. John and I were in a meeting the other day and we were talking about this. Most pop songs right now don't have acoustic guitars. It's either no acoustic guitar or acoustic guitar is the main thing. I think that's a pop song right now. And so, having you do those strum videos to give John some guidance and some feedback of, hey, this is how it should sound, this is how it should look. So every instrument can be represented, I guess is my point.
Well, we had a lot of talks about that strum guitar idea too, because it was, like you said, a lot of songs just don't have it. And if they do, a lot of the time it's like an arrangement for the studio production, so it's not like a good standalone part necessarily, or a good like sing-along to part. So the idea of the strum guitar, as I understood it eventually, it took me a while, but eventually I understood it to be like, if you're just a singer with a guitar, what could you play to back yourself, right?
For sure.
It was more or less...
How would you make this sound full enough that you could do an open mic night and everyone would be like, why is he not playing any chord? Or you just strum once? And then, you know, having you do those strum videos to give John some guidance and some feedback of, hey, this is how it should sound, this is how it should look. So every instrument can be represented, I guess is my point.
Well,
Early on, some of our strum patterns,
Right,
I just sent you one today that has that. I'm like, hey, it kind of fits the song, but there's not much going on.
Right, and that was another one of those big questions. Like, as far as an ensemble arrangement, do you arrange the strum guitar to fit an ensemble arrangement, or do you make it a standalone piece?
Yeah.
Right. And I think we're still trying to figure that one out a little bit.
we might be figuring out daily. But it goes back to running that studio, where a lot of times I bet 60% of our students were acoustic guitar players, are the prototypical strummer. And so how do you give them a product where like they're not going to look at Led Zeppelin Jamaica? Why do I even reference that song when I can't pronounce it?
I don't know. You hate yourself is why, really.
I do hate myself. But my plant doesn't. And I think that's important that we all understand. How do you give them? They're not going to learn that hard, complicated part that's advanced. Give them something that can sound like the song, can represent it, and they can do something with it.
Well, and they can jump in just really quickly into that group performance and actually have something they can play, right?
Yeah. Which leads us to the question that we've kind of been asking ourselves lately too: is where are these? I live in Grand Rapids, Ada. In the Grand Rapids Ada area, there's probably 10 studios that exist, which means there's probably 20 people teaching on their own. What are they doing for their resources? Where are they finding their music? I just posted this. I'll put it right here too. I should have sent this to you. Somebody who wanted to learn a song, "The Difference" by the Wallflowers, sent me a tab that they paid $5 for, and you couldn't read it. You couldn't read it. You couldn't read it if it was probably $6, but you couldn't read it if your life depended on it. We'll pull it up right now. This is worth seeing. That's my killing dead time sound. Oh man, that is not the right reb page.
Reb page.
Yeah, we might edit that.
Are you Scooby Doo now?
Scooby who? I'm only going to talk to you via FaceTime calls now because you're just much nicer of a person.
Well, the screaming doesn't get across the same way over a microphone.
That's fair. That's very fair. Can you see that?
Let me see. Let me look at it a little closer up. I can't really see it. I'm gonna mess up my video here for a sec to see it. I need to figure this out a little bit better. Holy moly!
Which one would you prefer to read? What blows my mind is
hard to say. Yeah.
Different song. hard to handle the different. No, but I mean, like it goes to the point of like why we were picky about how we did our drum format, why we wanted bass to look a certain way, why I hit microphones when I talk. All those things were important because otherwise you end up with products like that. And I don't want to. I blued out blued out the person's name because I don't want to knock them, but that's a product that they charge $6 for. That the guy then came to us and said, "Hey, could you write this drum tab out for us?" I was like, "Okay, yeah."
Right.
Because he paid for that, couldn't learn the song via that.
That's rough.
Yeah. Well, and
that sucks.
And I think we kind of even do it in our marketing where we talk about, hey, most places are going to charge you $5-6 a tab. Piece of sheet music, right? Well, for twice that amount, for $9.99, you could have 10 drum tabs a month. So
which is $1 a piece.
Yeah. So which option are you going to pick at the end of the day when you want high quality sheet music that's thought out? We go above and beyond and give you exercises too, all that kind of great stuff. Not bullshit. It's not bullshit, Nick. Well, bullshit.
Why would you denigrate yourself so?
It's bullshit as it's stuff that students need. It's stuff that like you and I both have been in the cover band world lately. It's stuff that would make both our lives easier if a piece of sheet music was like figured out for us.
Right.
And that's really
it's all that time consuming work that as a teacher or as a student trying to find resources. You could spend so much time trying to find it, trying to make it, and it's all we're trying to provide that, right? Is the idea.
You as a music teacher, as a student, whether you're a young student or old student, you have enough stuff to do. Let us take the music thing about it. Let us have the boring meetings with John. I'm not saying John's boring. I'm saying they're boring meetings where we discuss sheet music and how better to distribute this and make it easier for you to understand. Let us do that.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
So and part of this video is us trying to generate the buzz for sheet music, or for teachers who want great quality music. Give us your input. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Give us the song. Somebody just bought it was a Fleetwood Mac song, and whenever somebody buys something, I'm always interested to be like, hey, why do they like this? Why do they want to buy it? And then you go online and you look like it doesn't exist. This piece of music isn't popular enough to exist, and it's been requested by one of us, so we wrote it out.
Yeah.
It's interesting too when music comes back around. Right now.
Wait. Before.
Yeah.
Do you think if we tab out the Mec Songs and people will really buy into that because there's no other resource for it?
Yes. Now, as everyone here who watches this, knows that we're in a hugely successful band named Lamech. If you say it, it's true. Funny thing. So Mr. Tim Pool, who I like to watch, had a song released, and he got to number 2 on the billboards. Okay, this is like a news commentator guy. Guess how many copies he sold to get onto number 2 in the Billboard chart?
15.
Higher than that.
Like a little bit higher, or like a lot of it higher?
Just higher than that. A lot higher than 15.
15,000.
12,000. He sold 12,000 songs.
Really?
And that was enough for him to chart. And he chose not the 99-cent value, which is smart. He chose the 69-cent value because he's clearly like Elon Musk. So not only does Billboard not care, but if you do 69 cents and you sell 12,000 songs, you can chart. That does make you go, I shouldn't have put all that money in Bitcoin.
I think that a lot, especially when I see the price of Bitcoin right now. It's like, oh
Bitcoin's
man,
right.
you don't seem to have a floor, do you? You hit the bottom, and then you like dig a hole and you go even deep, and then there's like a cellar under that. But then you think you're in the cellar and you think you're as low as you're gonna go. But then it's like they get their drill and break up the concrete and dig, and then there's like a basement below the cellar. And I don't know.
There will not be a floor soon if it keeps dropping. I'll say that much. I'll be living in my car again. So, I mean, like, we should just end the video right here with Mr. Christmas Die Hard movie over there. I think we need to find out where the music teachers are and convince them that we're a resource, is what it amounts to. Continue to convince them. And I think we're starting to get better ideas on how to do that. And I think that goes along with your blog that you're running. I mean, we're both contributing, but it's your blog. And I write a couple words. Words are hard.
I fix a couple more. Yeah.
I notice when I read stuff, I don't pay attention to all the letters, and you might notice that too. But also, like, I read it with the words put in that are missing. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yeah. Like, I read something 3 times, 5, 6, 7 times. And I read it when it was finally published. I was like, you don't have that word in there. Like, you see that word.
Do you ever read out loud? Do you ever read out loud to yourself?
No.
That's proofreading 101. Like, if you're gonna read through your own things, you have to read it out loud. Otherwise, you will internally fill in the blanks or even correct mistakes.
Is out loud 1 word or 2 words? Not joking, because it's on. All right, we're moving past that. Cool.
We're gonna call it 2 words for now.
I did, so pretty impressed. So we are gonna find studios that want our help with putting sheet music together at a high level to help them. That's my recap. There was some Bitcoin in there. There was some spelling errors in there, some grammar errors. One thing that I came across today that I thought was pretty interesting, because obviously another part of our business is YouTube. YouTube might be lowering their bar for monetizing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's a leaked thing that comes out. We'll find out tomorrow, most likely, if it's true. But they might half your watch time hours and your subscribers, which is really funny because that's all we need, and then we'd be monetized.
Really?
Yeah, now you think that'd be impressive, right? It's not, because it's not like we're going to make any money. We're still getting shit views.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They shouldn't lower that, in my opinion. It's pointless. It just makes people feel like they've made it before they ever have even come close.
What you just described, though, is why they're doing it. So many people quit when they're so close to making it that they're just like, hey, it's where we're at kind of too. Like, one part of our business might be great, but that doesn't mean the YouTube channel exists. There's so much competition in my mind for not only videos that are getting released daily, but music videos. Or teaching content, I guess would be a better way to say that.
Right.
So I can understand why they're lowering the bar. It doesn't change anything for us. 12 cents is 12 cents at the end of the day. We're not getting hundreds and hundreds of views.
No, you can't buy a latte with 12 cents.
You can't buy a lot, no. Hope you got that one. I did think it was interesting, though, and very topical. So I sent you...
an ointment.
It's not an aloe plant. Man, we're good. I sent you my guitar video today.
Yep.
And I'm pretty excited by that because I played guitar well and it complimented me, something that will never happen again. That was it of that segment. But what I think is, I think those kinds of videos will do better just because they're engaging in a point of like, send it out to 10 of your friends and say, hey, send me a solo back.
Right. And that's something to a degree you see on YouTube already. Is that idea of like, hey, here's the solo challenge.
Yeah.
Now come up with a solo, or here's a bass challenge. Come up with a bass line for this groove, and yeah, it's not a lot of it, and it's aimed more at like high level musicians, and we're aimed at just kind of anybody who wants to just try their hand at it.
For sure, and I think that's what it's going to be a lot in the beginning. Sending out to people that I used to teach, so they're at the mid level and below. Some of those guys aren't lead guitarists by any means, and I would include myself in that camp. But it'll be interesting, and hopefully you're interested, but I think it'd be fun to sit in together and review those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that'd be cool. I would, definitely enjoy that.
The pointers that you would give, I think, would be fun, and I think that could be a challenge for people to improve. Right? Like, you give them 3 pointers and be like, hey, do this next time and do that. So I think before we do our next one, you have to do a video for me like that, a guitar one, because I want to check it out. And then I'll put it together and put it on YouTube too. That's
I can give you my 3 pointers already, and it's
on mine. No,
just quit guitar 3 times over. Just 1.1, 2.3. Quit guitar. Quit guitar.
That's 9 things I got to do now. That's a lot. That's a lot. Just quit guitar. I wish, Nick. Funny thing, I thought about this the other day. That's my longest relationship, is guitar.
Which guitar have you had the longest?
I don't know. I don't think any of them here.
Is it the SG?
Yeah. Yeah. I bought it in 2001 when I graduated from high school.
So I know your longest relationship better than you do, is what this boils down to.
That sounds like most of my relationships. I'm not aware of them. I get caught off guard quite a bit with them, and that does cause some issues. But I have a keyboard, and that fixes most things. So my new YouTube plan, and part of it anyway, because I think this fits in, and then I don't have to talk about my relationships, or lack thereof lately. I want to do less videos and put more content with the videos. So a lot of that is like spending time. So our chats, actually like putting all the notes in there, all the cues in there. Because I think looking back at some of our best performing videos, you can see the timestamp. Like, they'll show you like, hey, this timestamp gets more views. This timestamp gets more views, and they exactly correlate with these subjects, or me playing this at 60% speed. And so instead of like video, write out all the content, which can take 30 minutes. But
Right.
I think it's a better thing to do because I think long term is going to get us more watch time. The other thing is rip shorts from all our videos, because I've seen in the past that we take a short, we highlight the part of the video with the short in the comments has the link, and then people go watch the regular video. Mm-hmm. So I think doing 3
Another thing I've been noticing that people do is that they do say an hour-long video, and then they take a short from that, right, as just like, hey, you know, this is 30 seconds. But then they also take each segment and break it down, so you have then like a 12-minute clip, 12-minute clip, 12-minute clip.
That's not bad.
You know, and so out of this one video, they've just got many different, because not everyone's looking to sit for an hour.
I don't think
someone might look to sit for 10, 15 minutes. You know, that's much more feasible. That's what I'll do. I'll sit for a 12-minute video. I'd be like, okay, I can do this. And then the 30-second short clip or a minute-long short clip is like, hey, just, you know.
I think shorts are just marketing. I don't think of them as anything else right now. Only for the fact they do get us subscribers. Like, our subscriber number has grown, but that has not correlated into higher watch time hours. Mm-hmm. Which means great, but they're kind of meaningless. I think YouTube is only pushing them because of TikTok, and that is why they're making the changes via the hour watch time. They do not want you to do your shorts on TikTok. They want you to do them on YouTube. They want to be pushed for that.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Instagram kind of does the same idea. Like, if you go over a minute on an Instagram thing, it's like continue watching.
Yeah.
Do you ever? And so I've noticed people doing like where they'll do, you know, how you like swipe between images or videos. They'll do like the minute, another minute, rest of the song or something.
That is how short our attention spans are.
Yep.
It goes to like I won't click. You won't. I won't. I'm being a person. I'm not a real one. But you won't click on a video if it's 15 minutes long because you're like, I don't want to wade through all this effort. I don't want to find out where everything is. Give me the 30-second highlight and I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like Spark Notes for a video.
I don't know what Spark Notes are.
Oh, that was back when I was in high school. It's like, instead of reading the book, you go online to Spark Notes and they'd give you the synopsis and the basic elements that you need to pass your test, you know, and then you could write your essay or take your exam or whatever.
That's what 7 years will get you in school. You were 7 years later than I was, so you guys had internet ready. Now, we had internet, but we were like the first class to get internet. There was no Spark Notes.
No, I was pretty blown away when I went to my kindergarten building and like they had computers in there. I was like, what? What do kindergartners need computers for? But, you know, now they have cell phones. So
yeah, now they're like, computer, I don't need that shit. Just give me a cell phone. Call my boo.
Yep.
That's what those kindergartners say, and they say, call my boo.
Call my boo.
Call my boo.
No, that's trendy.
Yeah, I wrote read out loud. No, but what you're saying is the same thing. Like I did, it'll be released on Wednesday, but I did a Jamaica tire maker, Jai maker. I did a video of that on bass, and as I'm at a little bit of a stroke there. As I'm going through the video, though, I'm like picking out sections of like, hey, this would be a great loop section, so I'll release that as a separate video. This is a great short. So that means me kind of cultivating more out of videos. You know, I shot a bunch on Friday and Saturday. Probably shot 2 days worth. Like, that means 8 videos in my mind. Well, then the next 3 days are just mining the content from there. Not everyone's going to watch a 40-minute video. I totally understand that. I do think the 40 minutes is helpful for somebody who needs to learn it from scratch. But if you want to learn it quicker, hey, here's the quicker way to do it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. And I like how you say mining the content out of one video. Because it is. It's like, well, okay, so what can be used for what? Yeah. For which purpose, right?
Well, which is just, we're always doing the same thing. If you haven't noticed it with this business, it's just how we're doing. No, like I correlated this to the apartment song video that's on YouTube right now that has like 16 views, but I didn't like how I shot it. It wasn't doing a loop with Sibelius, which, by the way, I figured out a really cool way of doing the loops on Sibelius now. When the bass one comes out, I want your feedback on it. Because I'm playing bass, and there's a drum part that I'm playing with, and I got everything looped, and it sounds nice. They're MIDI drums, but they sound pretty good. but it's just more of a engaging way for me to play. So it makes me want to do it for 40 minutes, right? Like I'm just practicing bass and trying to not fuck up on camera that much. The funny thing is, on the Jamaica, it took me 10 minutes to realize that I should have been playing with the palm mute. And I was like, and that
if only that was somehow notated in the sheet.
I like how detailed our sheets are.
That would be great.
And again, I just didn't read it. I knew it was there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to start doing a palm mute. And then I did. So and I wrote that in the sheet too. I was like, palm mute started at the beginning. I did not. But I think there's a lot of good content in there. I think there's loops there that somebody else can practice. I could just rip the drum tab, and then it could be a great, 50% and put those all together. But that's kind of what I mean, though, by mining, getting as much content as I can out of a performance, out of a playing video, and people can utilize it how they want to.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. That is good. Now, other than read out loud, my agenda is done. What's going on in your world?
Well, I'm currently listening to a small child waking up, so that's a little distracting.
Yeah.
But other than that, cut that. Just cut that. Oh, and cut that too. Chop, 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 like a vasectomy. Snip.
Hitting close to home, I see. Not mine, because I have no children, nor will I, via the government. But continue. State mandate.
All right. State mandate, yeah. Face masks. Well, my whole thing is apparently marketing works. so to keep learning about it and to keep pushing that and really work on getting returns out of that, because it's silly to think that you can make a product, not let people know about it, and have people use it.
Silly is the right word, yeah. Downright silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it takes time.
So my whole aim is just to let people know about it and find different avenues for that. So there's the newsletter that is pretty straightforward now that I've got the template sorted out, and I've done it a couple times. The blog posts are arguably, like, I need to do more research on how to make those useful.
What do you mean by that?
Well, they're okay in one sense that we're at least writing them now versus when we weren't.
They were theoretical.
But there's other ideas I've been reading about where you get like guest writers, or you write on someone else's website and just try to interlink and connect with people, right? And so there's a lot of value to that, I think.
I think you are right. Via the little reading I've done on it, yes. It's people are doing it on YouTube as well, right? There were, comment. The big thing on YouTube right now, again, is review videos. Just watching a video and giving it a review. Mm-hmm. So
right, which is strange, right? Like, you're listening to you're watching someone watching a video, giving their thoughts on it, and basically shaping what your thoughts on it are. It's a little bit like mind control, but
yes,
hey, whatever works.
Buy our tabs.
Yeah, well, subscribe to our website. Yeah. Don't buy the. Well, you actually do both. Buy the individual tabs and subscribe. And have 2 accounts.
Yeah, that's the best way for you to get the music you need, because you can fact check it then. 2 pieces of music, you can be like, these are the same unless I loaded something wrong up. So yes, buy our music is all I'm going to say. This time I'm looking at the camera. Buy our music. Buy a subscription. I like to call it membership, because membership sounds more like, I don't know, it sounds like the gym. Like, I get a membership to the gym. I don't get a subscription, right? So, like, become a member.
It's exclusive inclusivity is what it is.
Yeah, we will include you on that. Inclusively. Nah, that didn't work out.
Nope.
No, I think I've enjoyed your blog posts. I'm not an avid reader. That's not a joke. I've started a lot of books. But what I think is maybe not only because I know you, and that's part of it too, which I think these YouTube personalities get known. I know we're talking about blogs, but it's kind of the same thing. I enjoy reading from your perspective. I think you and I are fighting a lot of the same things. Like, how do we do this better? How do we do? And so I hear a lot of your own voice in the articles, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, and it's refreshing to kind of to write that way. That using my own voice in this case, right? Yeah. So it's not I'm not trying to put myself, like, force myself into these shoes that don't fit, which was a lot of what I was attempting to do. It's like, well, okay, I'm gonna kind of like deconstruct this song and say what it's all about, but I didn't really care enough to like make it sound like I cared, right? It was really, really difficult to do that.
Also, the amount of work it takes to dive into it, I think, was part of it as well. You're like, I could care about this song, but it's going to be 3 months until I do.
Right.
Because that's how I feel about learning these pieces. Like, we go through these reviews, you know, when John hands a tab in, you review it, then I review it. I notice stuff, but I don't notice it like when I learn it. And that's the same thing for, how do we expect you to write an article about it?
Right, I need to deep dive into every part of the song, the history of the song, the engineering, the studio work, the instrumentalists and the band members and the session musicians, like who the producer, you know, like all these different facets to get like a really good idea of the song, and then write, you know, 1,000 words on it.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. The way you just described it, I'd love to do that. Can I have that job? Instead of just play.
Well, jobs like that used to pay, you know, but they don't anymore.
Yeah. But if you want, like, you can talk, like, New Yorker magazine, I'm sure, has a job where you can talk about, like, the favorite dog biscuit treats. It'd be like the same thing. And you have to, as a person, have to try them all.
I've had Milk Bone. They're not bad.
Okay. I've been to a Milk Bar once. So, well, I don't know what the joke is. Sometimes I say stuff and he just finds me funny.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I know what the joke is.
Oh,
I do.
Well, you know, subscribe to our website and we'll tell you the joke. See, that's how it's done.
I write a blog post about it.
Don't.
Behind the paywall.
That's where the money's at. Not the Milk Bar one, but just behind the paywall. Cool. All right. Well, this week I'm kind of focusing on videos, I guess, is really what it amounts to. Yeah. But yeah, let's set up a time where we review the guitar ones as they come in the next week. I kind of gave everyone a loose deadline. Oh, did you see my John and I will wear spandex if this gets 2,000 views?
No.
Have you seen?
I'll have to check that out.
It's not going to happen unless you watch it 2,000 times or -6.
I might just get one of those like repeat bots going and spam it.
Make sure you're not logged into our account when you do that. Charlie Puth, Light Switch, he has a dance routine that they're wearing spandex. And I said to John, we did a review of that song. If we get 2,000 views, he and I will recreate that dance. So
nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Nice.
It's gonna be nice and good.
I look forward to never seeing it.
No one will.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good meeting.
All right then.
You have a good rest of your day, sir.
Yeah, you as well. See ya.